Guess what?
I'm back!
Again! But that is not what this video is about, I promise. And this is not a green screen. This is my actual house, my actual place where I do videos. See, I can touch it!
You can touch a green screen too.
Yeah, but you can't go around it. We have created what we call the C.A.S.T family tree. And C.A.S.T, which I'll put the letters here,
stands for creating
awesome
Sherwood, our high school, or my old high school, theater! There we go.
Yay! Good sign language.
Thank you.
C.A.S.T is the theater department at my current high school, her old high school.
I'm an alumni!
In my junior year, my class decided that we were going to start claiming people in C.A.S.T, namely freshmen, and only freshmen. And we have created a family tree of who has claimed who.
And there are rules that have been established, but not officially established. Mm-hmm. So I think now we are establishing
We're going to establish the rules for claiming in C.A.S.T. Okay, here's rule number 1 for claiming people in C.A.S.T. You must claim a freshman. You cannot claim a sophomore or a junior, and you can especially not claim a senior because that's just weird.
Only freshmen.
Only freshmen.
Number 2! There we go.
2. You can only claim someone if you are an upperclassman, meaning juniors, or seniors.
Number 3. You can only claim someone who hasn't been claimed.
Yes. And also with that rule comes, if a junior claims someone, this applies to my life very much right now, if a junior claims someone and the senior wants to claim the same person, the senior takes priority. The junior can still have that person, but they share it, and the senior is allowed to claim the same person. And the biggest and simplest rule is you cannot claim someone that is your family. Like M squared could not claim L squared.
Last year. So, Connor claimed Danny, but then dropped him, so technically he was seniorless. And I took Corvett's phone and started texting him, and I was like, you're cool, I like you, I'm gonna pretend that even though I'm gone, I can claim you.
Yes.
So, I claimed him. Therefore, I do believe that there should be a rule.
You have to be an involved alumni to be an alumni claiming a
This is why you are the writer, you are good with words.
So, we have created technically 4 family trees. And we're going to start with the family friends of our family, because our family is very, very complicated and kind of strange and incestuous. So, here are the family friends of C.A.S.T claiming. Number 1 is Grace. She was a senior in M squared's year.
2012!
Woo! She claimed Jacqueline, who was in Rob. Picture.
Revenge of the Blondes.
Revenge of the Blondes. Piper! Our Piper, we love her. She was claimed by Grace, and she is a sophomore this year. Jackie is a sophomore this year, and Grace is a freshman in college. Anne is in my grade. She claimed L squared.
As a junior, she claimed them L squared. As L squared was a freshman.
She is now a sophomore. Connor is also in my grade. Last year, he claimed William, who was also in Revenge of the Blondes. Mark.
And Connor was his junior, who claimed Will as a freshman.
Yes. Okay, so that's the simple part of the C.A.S.T claiming family tree. Here comes the complicated part. Marlette561. We're going to say that Marlette561 is the parent of M squared and myself.
Even though it's not.
We created it, but that would mean some really weird stuff, so we're not going to talk about it like that.
Okay, since I kind of have the more complicated one that intersects more, I'll go first.
Yes.
So, it starts off, me, and then I claimed Gianna, and then I claimed Andy.
Back in time when Mandy was a junior, she claimed Andy, but she didn't actually.
Yes, and Andy was a freshman, so it worked. So, I have Andy from my junior year and Gianna from my senior year. And then, when Connor dropped Danny, Chase, who was also in Revenge of the Blondes, he was Todd, picked Danny up. But I, being technically gone, and
involved alumni,
picked up Danny. So now Chase and myself share Danny. And Andy, who was my daughter, in a dinner theater show when I was a junior, and she asked me who my dad was, jokingly one day, and I said, my hot Australian boyfriend. who I will explain to you in a few minutes. So, my hot Australian boyfriend is Andy's father.
But he is not the father of Gianna and Danny.
Exactly. And Chase is technically not the mine with Danny. That doesn't work. So
they're separate, but both had Danny.
Yeah.
That's why this family tree doesn't really work right. Here's where my part comes in. Last year, I claimed Gianna, who was my freshman, and she's like my best friend, and she's fantastic. You'll notice M squared also claimed Gianna, but I claimed Gianna first, so the rule was not broken. This year, I claimed Ja. He is asked to be called Ja, but his letter will be J. However, before I claimed Ja, Andy had claimed Ja. Andy that M squared claimed. So there's that awkward hook-shaped line, and that is our family tree.
Yay!
You'll notice I do not have a husband, sadly, because I did not find someone like M squared was so fortunate to have found her hot Australian boyfriend.
I think
it's time
for me to explain
which
that.
she will now explain.
I was spending the night at my dad's house, and I'm like, hey, Corvett, you want to come with me? And she's like,
sure!
My dad picked us up, and we were driving to his house. He was driving. And we passed the volunteer fire station, and they had, like, this huge, like, carnival thing with rides and stuff. And we're like, hey, we want to go. So we were there, and we're riding all these rides, and some of them are, like,
awesome.
Oh my gosh. There were some that were so much fun, and then there was me on the Ferris wheel. Oh my gosh.
M squared is evidently afraid of Ferris wheels, a fact I did not know until that very moment when we went on the Ferris wheel and she screamed and held on to the pole.
I'm not scared of, like, the height aspect.
Which is funny, because I am afraid of heights, but I didn't mind the Ferris wheel so much.
I'm scared, like, going up, so it's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But then we're coming back down, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Then, like...
It was a cycle, imagine that! We rode the Ferris wheel and then we rode the merry-go-round. And this is where M squared met her husband. Her hot Australian boyfriend, whose name we did not find out and whose accent we're not positive is Australian.
You all probably know by now that I'm a very friendly, outgoing person.
Duh.
So, we were on the Ferris wheel, and there was a hot guy who was working it. He jumps on, because he's like, he just jumped on the Ferris wheel, because it was a little carnival thing, so it wasn't, like, a ginormous one. But the animals were awesome.
Really cool.
Like, there was a cat and a really dragon. Oh my god, they were awesome.
The carriage was also really pretty, like the thing that people sit in when they're boring people.
And I said, is it fun riding this all, like, over and over again? He's like, and he said it is when no one's in the park, and then he doesn't mind it or something, and they get to ride it on occasion, and that it's, like, a fun job, and he gets to travel, I think he said.
Mm-hmm.
So,
he's not, like, college or just out of college, something like that.
Yeah, he's definitely older than us.
Yes.
And we don't know his name or anything about him.
Except that his accent might have been Australian.
So, I called him my hot Australian boyfriend.
And then decided that was Andy's father.
Yep.
Yep. That's the cast hierarchy in the story of M squared's hot Australian boyfriend. The end. Goodbye. Smile. The chairs are stuck.
She slowly just shoved me out of the frame.
You are still very much in the frame. Okay.
Or am I?
So, we want to talk to you...
I was so glad that worked and I didn't go the wrong way.
It's 17 minutes long!
Oops.